Life is like this trail. It isn't always easy, but good boots help. Welcome to Dam Guard.
Welcome back to the channel. This right here is a boot from Frank's. It is a hybrid that I had them build, custom order build. I wanted a tactical boot, had them build it. It didn't turn out, so let's discuss it. Let's see what happened. Now, I've been a customer of Frank's for a long time. I've purchased plenty of boots from them. And I got this boot. I was excited to get it because I wanted to take it to where I work and promote it as a tactical boot. And I had some initial problems from the get-go. And I did reach out to the builder and explain to them what was going on. And the response I got was to wear thinner socks. I did send pictures as well to show what I was running into, and I'll share those with you. Now, to be fair, I was running nylon laces, and I switched to leather laces, and that helped a lot in the instep. But as far as the heel issue, it really didn't change, and the boot is extremely uncomfortable. So, in that, you know, obviously, I mean, I'd already sent pictures, and I wasn't going to beat a dead horse. So I was like, well, let's find out what happened. I mean, there's something obviously went wrong, and I like to know what can be done in the future to avoid this from happening again. And I think this is just as much good information for Frank's as it is for all of you. And listen, I mean, I've got no ill will towards Frank's. I mean, like I said, I've purchased plenty of boots from them, and their build quality and attention to detail is almost always spot on. So this is kind of an outlier. This is not normal for them, you know, to run into something like this. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look, and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, so I've got a couple of boots here that we're going to take a look at, and I need to figure out why this other boot is the way that it is, because I can't even wear it. It's too painful to wear. This one is a rebuild, and you're going to have to excuse all the noise in the background. My dog's playing with a bone. Anyway, you can see the heel on this, and then I'll show you. Looks like there's a, you know, like a loose, not a loose stitch, and that's no big deal. I'm not worried about that at all. But look at the inside of the counter, the heel counter. Okay, so we'll take a look at this other one. All right, so this right here is the boot. It is a Riker hybrid, meaning that it's a monkey boot with Riker components. And as far as I know, this was the first one that had been built this way. And it does also have the Sierra sole on it. And you can see it's got the sprung heel here. I was really excited. I mean, I was really looking forward to this boot working out, but it just wasn't comfortable. You know, I tried it on, and it was tearing up my heel, and I couldn't figure out, you know, for the life of me what was going on. And I tried some different things. I tried different kilties. I tried different, you know, obviously I already told you I tried different laces, and nothing would work. Now, when I did initially contact them, it was March 10th that I contacted them, and I had the boots for, I don't know, a couple of weeks maybe. And I said, hey, you know, listen, I've got some problems here. I need to know if you can address it. I can actually bring up the actual message. It says, good morning. Okay, I need some help on what I can do here. The forward part of the boot is breaking in nicely. I did have some pain in the instep, and like I said, that was alleviated with changing the laces back to leather. Now, it being a tactical boot, that's not really the lace you want to use, but you can get black leather laces, so that was what my intention was. The forward part of the boot is breaking in nicely. There's still significant heel bite, and it's not from slippage. So I looked inside the boot and noticed the inside heel counter pad / patch appears to be bunched or wrinkled. Number one, is this inherent to the Riker build? Number two, will it break in eventually? Three, if number two is yes, what can I do to help alleviate the pain in the heel while it breaks in? And can the process be expedited? What it feels like. Foot is not centered back in the heel like it should go back further. Too much space between the bottom back of the heel and the back of the boot. But yet when I step, flex on the forward part of the boot, feels like the boot is gripping very well on the heel, but it's going to tear the flesh off the back of my heel. LOL. The 16-inch boot you guys built for me, yeah, it has ruined all other boots. Perfection. More comfortable than slippers, which is true. And that boot was built on another last that I'll actually talk about in another video. Why I've switched to a different last. So initially, almost all my boots were Frank's 1977 last, and that had worked well for me. I really didn't run into too many issues. We did run into an issue at some point where the builder reached out or mentioned to me that I was wearing half a size too big in the 1977 last. Went back half a size, so I went from an 11D to a 10.5D, and on the clear cut, which is the caulked boot, it worked out perfectly. On the 16-inch bridal gray boot, it doesn't feel as comfortable as the caulked boot, and I don't know why. I can't I don't know. I mean, it's a beautiful boot, and I wear it. I just can't wear it, for like days at a time. And that's really not a boot that you would do that with anyway. That's more of a kind of a dress boot maybe. So, no harm, no foul there. So, like I said, I sent some pictures along with that message, and the response I got was, try a different sock. Maybe a thinner one to start. There has to be a seam there, and yes, sometimes that can cause discomfort. You can try using moleskin patch or cushion, but that could cause more pressure. And that was it. So I responded that I went back to leather laces from nylon, and that made all the difference. This is good information. So, and again, the leather laces took care of the issue that I was having up front. The front part of the boot here was breaking in nice. I mean, you've got some creases here. And then, but I was still having some issue here in the instep, which is, that's typical. You're going to on a custom boot, especially with leather and canvas that is this thick. But that didn't alleviate the heel issue. And so I would keep going back to this boot, and I would wear it, and I couldn't even get through a day where it just really felt like it was tearing my heel up. It was just very uncomfortable. So I'll show you the pictures. All right, and here is the other boot, and try and get the light in here. And you can see there's some pretty serious creases in there, and I don't know for sure what's going on here, but we're going to find out. Now, on March 10th, I did send a series of pictures to the builder, and the response I got was, try wearing some thinner socks. I don't know that they completely understand. I sent good pictures, but I just can't wear the boot. It's not comfortable at all. So let's I'll show you the other one here. You know, and here's the other one. And you can see it's just not smooth at all, and it's very uncomfortable. So I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to take a look at it here. I mean, I haven't worn these boots in probably, I don't know, 3 months, 2.5 months, maybe 3 months, somewhere in that area. I just can't do it. So anyway, gonna be a learning experience for me, and try and figure out exactly what's going on here. And as you can see, the boot or the heel counter on the inside it's all like bunched up or wrinkled up, and I've got well over 30 pairs of boots, and every boot that I have, I look in the heel counter and that's not present in any of them, regardless of the manufacturer. So I was like, okay. I mean, I spent a lot of money on these boots, so I'm like, you know, to spend this kind of money and then have this outcome, it's very disappointing. So, and listen, I again, you know, I'm not finding fault with Frank's in that, you know, that this was, you know, something they hadn't built before. But, well, let's just take a look. So here is, I tore the boot down, and I've already showed you some pictures of the process of the tear down. Here is the midsole. Here's the outsole. The heel cushion is, I just threw that out. It's just foam. The insole, footbed with the McKay stitch here. This is the toe piece. Now here's the heel counter, and you can see in the heel counter here, there's some creases here, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Oh, it's a sock liner. Outside heel counter. One of the work patches. The other work patch. Now this is where we get to the meat and potatoes. So how this is constructed is there are canvas panels, side quarters or whatever you want to call them, that go all the way down to the bottom, and it's lasted with the leather. It does have leather toe, and this is all stitched together. And like I said, this canvas is very, very thick. I mean, it's really thick. So, but when I took this apart and took a look at it, and you'll see here in the pictures, I mean, that's what was causing my problem, was all this one, two, I mean, good grief, there's 3 layers of canvas there. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh no, there's 2 layers of canvas and an inside heel counter, which is leather. So you got 3 layers there, and this canvas does not mold and stretch and stuff like that like leather does. So they just lasted that over, bunched it all up, nailed it down, and called it good. I mean, is there a better way to construct it? I think so. I mean, if you put some reliefs in here in this canvas, and you cut some triangle shapes out of it here so that when you fold it over and last it, it's laying flat and it's not bunching on top of, itself. You're not going to have all these bumps and uncomfortable hot spots back there in the heel. I really don't know what the thought process was on doing that, and you can't tell me they didn't see it, but like I said, this was a first time build, so there's that. I mean, it's we'll just chalk this up to a fail and hashtag never again. But I mean, like I said, every other boot that I've had from them has been great. I mean, it's been spot on, and so I don't know for sure what to say about it other than that. But I just thought that if you're thinking about doing a monkey boot with the canvas, you might want to ask them to cut some reliefs in here or make sure this is flat, because it just wasn't comfortable. And like I said, I mean, I did send the pictures to him and I did reach out to him, but I just think maybe there was some miscommunication there, or I don't know, whatever. But the problem didn't get fixed. So, but now we know what caused the problem, and so you can move on from this point and find a fix for it. So, but like I said, I know people have asked me about how this is coming along and some reviews and stuff on it. Yeah, it's dead in the water. I'm not doing this again. It did not work out, and I'll just chalk it up to an expensive mistake and just move on from there. So, don't hold anything against Frank's for this. I asked them to do it. They did it. I mean, I would have liked a little bit better execution on it, but, it is what it is. So when you're looking at, getting into these boots and spending the kind of money that you're going to spend, make sure that you do your research first. And I guess hindsight's always 20/20. Had I known now, or had I known then what I know now, I would have asked some more questions, and I would have asked them to do some different things, or maybe not even use the canvas, maybe have some way where they can do leather further down so it stretches, and so when they trim it, they're actually trimming some of the canvas too, because like I said, it being all bunched up like that, yeah, that's unacceptable. But it is what it is. So, but what's up and coming, we'll talk about in another video. We'll talk about my move to the 4811 last and how that happened by pure accident, and some exciting stuff. Also, been doing a lot of work on AI, so that I can bring some content that I can't do. I mean, I'm one person, and then Kat, my wife, she helps out too. But this way I'm able to show you guys some things, maybe some historical stuff, and some other things that I just don't have the production budget to be able to go out there and do it. But it takes a lot of work up front, and I can't tell you how many six-fingered people I've had to redo, or people with 3 legs. So, I mean, it's a work in progress. I went out and bought a new Apple computer so I could put the LLM on local and run the AI from my machine instead of depending on the internet. So we'll be looking for that, in the next couple of months. Because like I said, it takes a lot of work. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Hit me up. Thanks for watching.